I'm Maximus Decimus Meridius, father to a murdered wife, husband to a murdered son, and I'll have my whiskey in this life or the next.
Give them nothing, but take from them everything. This is
The Film Bunker. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode.
This week we're going to be talking about the top 10 movie villains of all time. Stick around. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the top 10 movie villains of all time. And we're going to count down from 10 to number 1.
This is big. Go.
Well, I mean, okay, well, what makes a great villain, I guess? What is those parameters?
Okay, so a great villain. They have to have a certain amount of things. One is conviction. Two is they actually have to steal the power so that the when the main character is actually around them, they feel very powerless. And we've also filtered out a few that were played by multiple actors. That some actors did a good job, some actors didn't. So, as an example, we all deliberated beforehand, and we all sort of spoke about Bane from Dark Knight Rises, right? So, and we actually took Bane out of the list. We actually took Bane out of the list because even though Tom Hardy's version was so good, the Batman and Robin version, and I think you mentioned some of the video games, was actually sort of retracted from that a little bit. So Bane actually hasn't made it into the. So basically, we've chosen either people that played a role that was never played before by anyone again, or before or after, or a role where everyone played it. It was just a terrifying character. Okay, so those are the parameters.
And we've cut out creatures and things like that.
CG animals and things.
So we've gone down.
Unless they have dialogue.
We've sort of gone into those parameters. So. All right, well, let's reveal our number 10.
Let's do it.
All right.
Lay it on us.
At number 10, we've got Anton Sugar from No Country for Old Men.
Call it.
Yeah, what a scene.
Call it. Just call it.
Why am I calling it? Call it.
They saw that. You guys are sitting there going, why?
That scene where he's got the air canister and he pops the guy in the head. And there's no music. It's just so eerie, that guy. Yeah, great character.
He's pretty daunting.
Howdy. What's this about?
Step out of that car, please, sir.
What is that?
I need you to step out of that car, sir.
What is that for?
Would you hold still, please, sir?
Our number 9.
Ooh, who comes in at number 9? Number 9 is Scar.
Boom. Bet you didn't see that coming, did you?
Life's not fair, is it? I love Jeremy Irons' voice. I can't do it. I can't do it, but I love it.
Maybe 50% of our reasoning is just Jeremy Irons.
Maybe.
Oh, look, Zaz, you made me lose my lunch. So refined.
Yeah. And you know what I find funny is that Jeremy Irons, the only reason why he has that phenomenal voice, and I don't know if you guys know this, is that he is a heavy smoker.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he's got that raw. You know what I mean? And every movie he's in, there's something along those lines that
actually,
except the only movie I didn't see it in was Batman.
Life's not fair, is it? You see, I shall never be king.
The other thing I really like about Scar is that he was, so brutal and malign bad guy in a children's movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Kills his brother, tries to kill his nephew, hires goons to do it.
Yeah. And it's like he doesn't have to go into detail. He just kill him.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the hyenas are just waiting there like, oh, can we get him? Can we go? Can
And
we go?
even the subtle references that Disney make as well, like they portray him almost like Hitler, like he's up on that pedestal and all the
Oh
hyenas
yeah, the
marching
hyenas are
along,
looking, yeah.
like a dictator, you know.
Yeah.
So very terrifying character.
I know that your powers of retention are as thick as a warthog's backside.
Coming in at number 8,
General Kale. Yeah.
from Willow.
Not the vegetable. the damn character.
Now, why?
Okay, so
Lay it on us.
General Kale was so in the movie Willow, which is a 1988 Ron Howard film written by George Lucas, actually.
Brilliant film. If you guys haven't caught that, definitely check it out.
Yeah, we did mention that last episode. That it's such
yeah.
a good movie. So.
Yeah. So the actual actor that played General Kale, it's the only time it's ever been done as well. So the actor was Pat Roach, who was 7.6, I think, feet tall, and he also has this voice that's just it's terrifying. You know, he's like riding into the thing. I am the child. It's just like I am the child. He's got a voice like a foghorn. You know what I mean?
Like a foghorn, yeah.
Coming in at number 7
Here it
is Hans Landa.
Oh yeah.
Yes, 100%. Definitely has earned this title for sure. Like to be in the top 10 of the Film Bunker's best villains because he is just so powerful and he's so good at his job. He lets people think that they're getting away with everything. And it just pulls the chair out from under
He's playing
him.
a game of chess. Like
It's
that opening
unbelievable.
scene
And
and the dialogue between him and the farmer is just...
You're sheltering enemies of the state, are you not?
Yes.
You're sheltering them underneath your floorboards, aren't you?
Yes.
Point out to me the areas where they're hiding.
And then like the farmer sort of, he knows something's up, and then it's when Hans says, like he drops all that character all of a sudden, he just drops it right on him and says, "You're harboring enemies of the state, aren't you?"
so like
And you see it in the guy's eyes, like
He's almost
we've
tearing
lost.
up.
And then not only that, but he goes, he like when he comes in, he starts speaking in German, right? Or no, French.
Yeah,
he's talking,
Monsieur Le Petit.
he's talking to him in French. He's like, and then he asks permission to speak in English.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And
It's
then
like
it goes-
he actually he plays with the power a lot.
Yeah, and he says, I assume that there are no, there's no scurrying, that they don't know English.
Yeah.
So-
But then also like him playing with the power, like he's like Lapidit's like, do you mind if I smoke? He's like, this Lapidit, this is your house, please make yourself at home. You know?
Yeah.
And then he's like
was
later
good.
in
That
the
was
scene,
good.
later in the scene, he's like, do you mind if I smoke? And he pulls out this freaking thing.
So coming in at number 6 is Roy Batty.
Boom.
Yeah. And
Played by Rutger Hauer.
yeah, Rutger Hauer.
He was...
It just brings little emotions to you, doesn't it?
I feel like his conviction was just spot on. But if you look closely, like his eyes, he's like, he could just go at any moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I love...
true.
So I'm sorry for... But I love how close to Blade Runner he was as a character, like skills and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he had a challenge to overcome. You know what I mean?
And possibly one of the best redemptions in film, I think.
And then-
that is seen in the rain at the end.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Like, okay, so basically, that last scene was actually improvised. So, like his lines were improvised, and it was actually like, I can't remember exactly what was said, but because I know that I read the script with this one as well, and I remember reading there's a line that he actually says in it that wouldn't make sense to anyone unless they actually either watched the full unedited director's cut or read the script. But he says he's basically, he's got Harrison Ford dangling off a thing. He's about to die. He's won the day, and he saves him. And then he's literally got about 20 seconds to live. And he says, he just takes a moment to just give Harrison his soul before he goes. He basically says, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. And he like has a little grunt.
Yeah.
There's attack ships on fire on the shoulders of Orion. All these moments will be lost in time like tears in rain. time to die, and then he dies, and it's just, and then he's holding a dove.
Yeah.
He's holding a dove, and as he dies, he lets go of the dove, and it's kind of like his soul flying off.
Yeah.
Slow motion dove action.
Maybe Ridley Scott knew John Woo back then. I don't know.
Dude, slow motion doves make everything cooler. All right.
All right. So this now brings us into golden hour now. Our top 5. I mean, this is the critical. This is the creme de la creme.
This is when
best
poop
villains.
gets real.
Poop gets real.
Nice edit.
So, ready for it? Hans Gruber. Yeah. I love that character. I love that movie.
Carl,
Just...
Carl, shift on discussions. Shoot the glass.
Yeah, man.
I love it how he tries to play the American too, and you can hear the German come. Please don't kill me or one of them.
oh God.
Yeah, that's right.
But like throughout that whole film, like Bruce Willis was actually shooting a TV series at the time throughout the day, and would come straight to the set at night, and they would shoot all through the night. So that sort of portrayed Bruce's character is really tired and weary. So they really wanted a villain that could be more sophisticated and cold, calculating, and knew all the moves. Like how he the first half of the movies always know. Oh yeah, the cops are going to come. I knew that was always
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, he was one step ahead of everyone.
everything.
Yeah.
So
I
maybe-
want to speak to the FBI.
Maybe that's because that's a very, very early film, and a lot of films after that I feel sort of followed that.
That's yeah.
And I don't think anybody else could have done it other
the
than Alan
class,
Rickman.
the one step ahead sort of bad guy, probably came in really like started getting some traction.
So number 4 then.
This is sort of a.
I'll let you have the honors on this one.
Thank you. This is sort of a personal favorite, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree.
Actually, just quickly before your reveal, we did consider top 2 at one stage, and we'll have reasons why we didn't. But
okay, that's fair, right? So, Darth Vader, as our 4th.
Just iconic too.
Justin mentioned something earlier when we got to set, and I really it made sort of me think about it actually. In EP4, you see him and you're like, wow, he's so cool, he's so awesome. But when you see Rogue One before Episode 4, you really understand where the fear is coming. Like, I mean, in Rogue One, these guys are like, yeah, it's Vader, and they're just gone, baby. They're out of town. They're pushing each other through the door, like you know when you're running through like a dark hallway, but you're like the last guy. And you're like, you don't want to be the last guy.
Oh God!
You know what I mean? Your butt clenches up, and you're going for gold.
Yeah, it raised the calamity. It raised the stakes.
100%.
Yeah.
And some good sphincter tightening.
Yeah, and me personally, Vader in the EU, man, is just he's super OP. He's emotional. There's a lot of context to the character, and I really dig him.
The only reason we took him from number 2 to number 4 was probably because he lost he lost points because of the Hayden Christensen betrayal.
Yeah.
Geez, that was terrible. And that scene I'm talking about, not the whole thing, but like just no. And you know the only thing
How's it go?
The only thing that's good about that scene. The only thing that's good about that scene is when South Park did a funny version of it when they basically lose all the people that are like shoveling the leaves.
Yeah.
And Randy opens the door and his leaves are no until the actual recording. So cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Numero Trace.
That was a good Spanish accent there, bud.
Thank you there, Juzz.
Number 3. Now, before we say it, can I just... Hello, Clarice.
Mr. Hannibal Lecter.
I'd even say Sir Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Scholar
film
and a gentleman.
royalty out of a criminal. Fantastic. I love it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, moving back to Hannibal himself. So I mean, just his posture, his mannerisms. He's almost like a predator in some respects. Like he's sort of lurking about and he's eyeing.
And once
Clarice
again, like Hans Gruber, very refined.
Yeah.
You know, very refined.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to touch base on. I love his the precision in which he does his thing. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he takes dude's head off. You know what I mean? Like, is it green eggs and ham? Anybody?
What was it? Bows in, bows out.
Yeah.
Speaking of humans being terrible people, how about machines being terrible people?
That's the wrong noise. Sorry.
What? Not
Robot's
not
done.
Bumblebee. All right, and coming in at number 2.
I need to close your boots and your motorcycle.
What? He says it twice.
He does say it twice. Where are you at on that?
I don't think he does. No, that's Terminator 2. Terminator 1 is wash day tomorrow. Nothing clean, right? Nothing clean, right? I think this guy's a couple of cans short of a 6-pack. Your clothes. Give them to me. Now.
That's not bad.
That's pretty
That's
good. That's not bad. And we haven't watched it in a while, so
Yeah.
that's pretty good for out of memory. But yes, the Terminator.
Terminator for sure.
The original 1984 Arnie Terminator.
Yeah. So obviously, you know, he has the shape shift and comes back as a different character in the second one. But yeah, the first one, cold, no feelings whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just a program. He's running through the numbers.
I think they did really well actually on portraying what sort of like an AI gone rogue would sort of, you know what I mean? Like if let's like they had like if AI had shock troopers, you know what I mean? Like they would have a specific program and they would have to follow that to the T.
Yeah.
Well, look, one of the other things about great villains is, and this comes down to the actual film and the directional sort of thing. One of the great things about villains is that sometimes, and particularly with Terminator, if you put them in the real world, and actually I remember I think it was Alfred Hitchcock said something like this about villains, is that if you put someone that could literally be someone that you bump into, know personally, or accidentally insult one day when you're having a bad day, that's a great villain. Because it just terrifies you. It's like Saw, like the guy from Saw. Like he literally could be someone you accidentally bumped into one day and pissed off.
Never know. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's
like
so the Terminator could be in society right
exactly,
now.
and
Wouldn't
that's
even know.
You know, that's what I love about like James Cameron, Chris Nolan, those sort of guys who just put it in the reality of it, and it makes the calamity sort of high. You know?
Yeah, that's cool. That's actually a good point.
So let's reflect really quickly before we reveal
From 10?
numero uno.
Yeah.
From 10.
So
right.
so we had Anton Sugar, so Javier Bardem, great. Then we got Scar, General Kale, Hans Landa, Roy Batty, Hans Gruber, Vader,
Call it the math bunker.
Hannibal,
Terminator.
and then the Terminator. So I guess now we just come to our favorite, and we had to really think hard about 10 right down to 2. But when it came to number 1, it was
easy,
so
wasn't it?
unanimous.
Yeah.
And it,
Which was actually quite interesting, to be honest with you, because we have such different mindsets between
About this character?
Yeah.
between the three.
Well,
no,
not even just that
just
too.
in film in general, because like
you
so
look at
you're
the
a
first
film
episode when we
producer.
were looking at our 3 films, and we all had different films up.
Right, but you make films, right? So you know all of the behind the scenes stuff. Well, Justin knows all the behind the
Yeah, he
scenes.
produces.
Karen's a writer and a director, whereas I'm an actor and I just watch. I like films, like I quote them more so than anything. You know what I mean?
And our director of the series, Chris, he looked at it as a point of view of a character as well.
Right,
And he loved the character interaction. So
Before we reveal, can I just do this for a second?
Yeah, here we go.
I believe what doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
So yes, there you have it.
Yes.
The Joker.
Joker.
And not just because of Heath Ledger's performance, which is
I mean, that
the
really
crown.
That really popped it up on the pedestal. But the Mark Hamill,
Yeah,
Jack
it's because
Nicholson,
it's always the Joker.
even a little bit of Jared in there, Jared Leto.
Yeah,
a little
absolutely.
bit.
Well, what I love about the Joker is that everybody that's portrayed it, right? Even though they're different actors, they have all portrayed it similar in similar taste. You know what I mean? It's all sort of classy, crazy, with some TNT.
With so much conviction.
It's almost actually
of
if you
choices,
if you
know?
grab
Yeah.
the Joker as a character and sliced him up into different things that make him the character. Each one of those actors has played a segment of that.
Bingo.
Yeah,
So,
Actually, I
so Jack Nicholson
that.
went really clowny and
Right.
maniacal and laughy kind of
But
Joker.
he was still a respectable gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Heath's one is just a rabid dog set upon the world. You know, he's just an agent of chaos. That's what he wants to be.
Yeah.
There's a band called Kill Switch Engage. Now, if there was a kill switch, I would have pressed it a few times by now.
Hey, look, we've got a Joker right now running the world, Donald Trump.
Talking to you, Chico.
And then you've got Mark Hamill's version, and then Cesar Romero. So I mean, he's just such a great character and great villain. All right, so what I want to touch on primarily with Heath's performance, though, is the interaction also with the look of the character. So it was well known and well documented that Heath put on the makeup himself and wanted to have it all over his fingers and things like that. It was kind of a war paint. That was brilliant.
Absolutely.
And the makeup of his scars on his face, so with prosthetics, they dry out over time, and so it kept feathering up on his lip, and so he kept licking it, and in the end, Heath used that to the character's ability, and that became his always.
I didn't actually know that's why that happened.
Very
Film Bunker,
cool.
ladies and gentlemen, you learn fun little facts. Right?
So I think, look, we'd love to know what your top 5 is, at least. If you put in the comments below your top 5 film villains of all time, we'd love to see and learn your thoughts on that.
And what do you think of our list? What do you think?
Now, don't just comment like, "Oh, you guys are dumb." Like, genuinely think about the list and sort of give some feedback.
And
Yeah, we'd love to know.
The parameters
Absolutely.
that we talked about.
100%. All right, guys. As always, thank you for tuning in to this week's Film Bunker episode on Top 10 Villains. Like, subscribe, and comment. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you then.
Ooh.